Hi Libra, welcome to your astro reels. It's been a minute, I know, but welcome back. And as you know, I always love to do these readings for you, and you know that they're timeless and signless, so that means that you don't have to have any significant placements in Libra, and you don't have to be watching this video at the time that it's being published. If it's for you, then it may resonate with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, I would ask you to take a moment, take a step back, and come back later so you can see whether the energies resonate with you then after they've had a chance to come in and kind of manifest into the physical. If you'd like to work personally with me, you know exactly where to find me. You can connect with me via my Etsy link. All right, that being said, let's jump right in, okay? So Librans, super cute. No matter who you are, what your natal chart says about you, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting the feeling that you are stumbling onto, and I say stumbling onto, but it's more realistically, you have already stumbled upon and are now firmly standing on something new for you. There's literally a new venture right underneath your feet. So to put it into terms for us to understand here in this third dimension, because a lot of these readings that I'm giving you, all this information is in the non-physical, so you may not necessarily see it in the physical as yet, but it doesn't mean it's not here. You're just waiting for it to break into physicality, right? There's a little thing called time here on this planet that allows us to make choices and tweak things before our thoughts actually manifest into form, people, places, things, situations, and ideas around us. And so to put it into our 3D mind, conscious mind perspective, imagine that you are in an open plaza or something, and you're looking for something. You heard that it's here, and you're like, yeah, it's here already. You're like, where? You're turning around. I don't see it. You're in the middle of this plaza. And then you just get the idea to look down, and you're like, oh, shoot. It is here. It's a design on the floor and it's huge and I'm standing in the middle of it. Wow, right? That's the kind of idea. So when I tell you that this energy, this thing, this delivery for you, this new venture is already here, 2 minutes, 22 seconds, I really mean that. It's literally underneath your feet. And so the next step that you need to take is to take a look at it. So look down and take a look at it. Wow, I do feel that this is a divinely contracted situation, but I do want to point out that no matter what the situation, if it's a relationship, if it's a romantic relationship, if it's a new venture in terms of career or opportunity, I do see with this door open that there are still other aspects or other opportunities to come for you. So if you're thinking, oh, this is the only one that I can do, just because something's under your feet, so to speak, just because somebody's knocked at the door, just because somebody's tapped on your shoulder, doesn't mean that you have to go with that thing. And I do want to remind you that on this planet, so many people are stuck with this 3D conscious mind limitation of an idea of linear time. It's continuous, just cause and effect. That's actually not the reality. And we've said this many times now, where it's more like frames. Like in a movie, you see a movie playing and you're like, oh my God, I'm laughing, 3 minutes, 33 seconds. It's this movie and it's just going. Beginning, end, in the middle, before, after. Oh, this happened, so then that happened, right? That's kind of what we perceive because of the hardware, which is the human brain. But the reality of it is that technology of the reels and the projector and everything allows independent frames to, with speed, appear as though it's linear. It's so fast, it's moving so quickly that it tricks the eyes because the hardware cannot keep up with the movement of the reels. It tricks the eyes into seeing something as progressive. Right? We know this. Just look up at any loving ceiling fan and just hit that low, medium, high, and you see these blades just go from, oh, I see you, blade, to where are you, blades? You're just a blur, right? So just understand the concept. But the reality is that nothing is linear. Even the version of you that started when we started this video is not the same version as you are now, as I'm saying this to you. And now, and now, and now, and now, and now. I know I'm not the same version, right? Anytime you have a thought, it's going to create a different version of you. In other words, you're going to shift your consciousness because all you have is your attention. What do you give your attention to? And you're either giving your attention to something that is, or thought that emanates from, or let's say is founded upon self-love and self-acceptance as who you are, which is an amazing multidimensional co-creator who cannot do wrong and is fully innocent and is awake, or you are focusing your attention on some type of what's the word, I just said it, some type of I say emanation, yeah, but the word is something that is found, some type of some idea, thank you, so we'll just go with that, some idea that is just founded upon the idea, which is not real, but the false idea of fear, right? And that's the low self-worth, the self-doubt, the self-denial, the poverty consciousness, the martyrdom syndrome, victim consciousness. Listen, we out here, the codependency, we're going out with all these things, right? So that's the only thing you're deciding in every now moment. It's up to you, literally. And literally, and it happens that quickly. Whatever you do at any given moment like that is just going to be like drop into your life, literally your physical life. It's going to populate forms, people, places, things, situations, ideas that literally align. And I know I'm saying literally a lot because I'm really trying to convey literally align with one of those two choices. You only have one hose, and what direction you're pointing it in, and there are only two directions, is up to you. And if you're a real G, you know that only one of those directions is actually reality, which is love. So it's a real concept, it's a real thing, goes all the way up to the Godhead. Oneness, the state of oneness, undivided, unseparated oneness, right? And the other is unreal, and that is all founded upon the idea of separation. But we've talked about this many times before. And if you're like, well, what are you talking about, Jay? The guides explained it so much better in the February 2024 reading. So go ahead and watch that reading. It explains it so well. As I said that, I looked down, it was 7 minutes, 7 seconds. But the point is, what I'm trying to say, going back to this 3D physicality, looking at the forms, people, places, things, situations, ideas, in this case, some type of opportunity, right? We can see that whatever this form is, there's something underneath for you that has already manifested. You just need to look down and see it. It's here. And the question for you next is always, and should always be, whether it's a person, a place, a job, a situation, a location, a party, you always have to ask yourself, is this form, okay? It's just a mask that energy wears. Is this form that is populated from my decision at another level of my consciousness, out of only two choices, love or fear, is this form reflecting love, or is it reflecting fear? Is it reflecting, in other words, self-love and self-acceptance, or is it reflecting self-doubt / self-denial? It's very, very simple. Now, it's simple that we can talk about it, and sometimes we can't even get to that point. So if you're here, congratulations, you can get to that point and hear it and be like, oh, okay. But in application, it takes your practice. And practice is just conscious, mindful action and attention towards that thing with the intention of, I would suggest, with the intention of learning to identify that which aligns with loving frequencies. Now, I'm saying love and fear and this and that, but always remember, I'm just saying those words because they're words that we use in our English language to reflect these energies. But at the end of the day, it's all a frequency game. That's it, boo. It's a frequency game. That's it. So what frequency are you on right now? And so when this opportunity comes for you, yay, always get happy that, wow, something manifested for me, and things will always manifest for you, right? But then you go and you're like, well, let me take a look at this. Let me assess it with my capital D, discernment. That's that adult level decision making, discernment. Is this toilet water quality? Is it eau de toilette quality? Or is it straight up parfum quality? What am I dealing with? And you know that you will be able to track these three things in only two categories: love or fear. That's it. Okay? So always remember, no matter what it is that you are doing in this on this planet, whether you're planning to buy a pen or deciding which glasses or candles or whatever, underlying the motivation, the emotions, the thoughts, the rationale that you bring to that decision, no matter how big this decision is or no matter how small the decision is, to go left or right, in the background, in your cache, C-A-C-H-E, you're legit only making one decision. It's either to align with the frequencies of love or to align with the frequencies of fear. And I will tell you right now that you cannot on its face, just on the 3D face, discern the two. For example, you see two murderers by society. You read the details, you do this and that. You know, society makes its own decisions. You make your own decisions. It might be conflicting with what your partner says, or what your children say, or your family, or the courts, or whatever, right? Because everyone's out here blind, leading the blind, right? But you know that karmic board sees everything. So they're out here making that decision quickly. Love or fear. It's easy. That's it. And so what we aspire to do is to become better at being able to assess at that level of understanding the nature, 11 minutes, 11 seconds, of the energies of the forms that we engage with each day. So, opportunity coming in. It's not the only opportunity, but it's right here. That's why we're literally by the desk. You can literally sign some contracts right now, but remember, this door's open. So if you don't like what you see here, or if you're still wondering like, oh, I heard brand. So somebody here, this may be a brand, something having to do with a brand is in your question. But if you're like, well, okay, God, of course, we always got to reach up 11 minutes, 44 seconds. And why are we reaching up? And who are we reaching up to? The who is not important, because your 3D conscious mind is just jumping the answer that, oh, well, Jesus and Shiva and I would just say, God bless you, conscious mind, and all of your learning, but this is not your territory. So what I'm going to do, you gently move them to the side. God bless your conscious mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to assume the reality that I, within 12 minutes, 12 seconds, at a higher level of my energy field, where I'm not running on that conscious mind limitation, but I'm running on higher consciousness, understanding, and perspective of all that is. That's my authority. That's the inner authority. And that inner authority needs no texts. It needs no language. It needs no eyes. It needs no hands. It needs no feet. It needs none of that. All it needs is my alignment, because if I align with that higher aspect of me, I am automatically aligning with what is in my highest interest, and what is in my highest interest is always in the highest interest of all of those around me. Even if every piece of learning I believe to be true that I've learned down here seems to say otherwise. So you see, this is why we surrender. All we're doing is acknowledging that, oh, my bad, I can't even see around the corner. I'm too emotionally invested in this. I've got trauma. I've got shadow stuff I haven't even looked at. I have biases. So dear God, who's God? Higher self, right? There is a creator, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that we are not capable within this conscious mind of even conceiving of what the creator is. So we best connect with our higher self, who has more awareness to even be able to have the wherewithal to consider what's higher in frequency than that. Okay, some of us can't even get out of the schooling we've learned, or out of the laws we've learned, or out of the TV, or out of our cultural stuff. How could we even understand? Okay, so just to show you that, so you surrender to your higher self and you just say, hey, thank you so much that this has appeared under my feet. I know that my thinking, my agreements at this conscious mind level have manifested this underneath me. So there we are, taking responsibility, okay, accountability for what it is that we experience in our physical world. But I'd like to take a higher perspective to it. So higher self, please let me know about this. Is this it, or should I keep looking? Look at that contract, okay? You're going to get what is in your highest interest if you give yourself the allowance to do that. But if you're out here just accepting what's put in your way, and you're running on all that victim consciousness, look at all of this, right? So the point is that whoever you are, Libra, God bless you, you're going to have an opportunity right now that is literally here, job, whatever. And I invite you to invite your higher self into this conversation. Of course, you know, you find me as well if you need help. Mwah.